Within County Code, historically and continuously, this department has recommended the prohibition of mobile hot food trucks based on potential health risk associated with the operations in the largest geographic county within the United States. Again, we currently permit and allow hot food trucks at temporary food events. To the best of our knowledge, Riverside County and San Bernardino County are the only known counties prohibiting hot food trucks within the state of California. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, routinely conducts studies to rank the top risk factors associated with foodborne illness. The top risk factors are food from unsafe sources, improper holding temperatures, meaning foods that are intended to be kept cold need to remain cold, and foods that are intended to be hot or to remain hot, inadequate cooking, contaminated equipment, and poor personal hygiene. These risk factors are important to all of us. As an inspector, we conduct inspections to assure public health and safety, and it's those violations directly associated with these risk factors that are considered to be critical violations and are heavier point deductions on our inspection reports because of the potential to cause foodborne illness. As a food facility operator, these are the areas that you must pay the closest attention to so that you don't risk your customers getting sick. And as a consumer, we rely on both the operator and the health department to reduce these risk factors so that you don't get sick from eating out. In preparation for today, the department conducted a sample comparison of critical violations associated with these top 5 risk factors within our county. We compared critical violations to our permanent food facilities, TFFs, and a recent hot food truck event at Citizens Bank Arena. What we found what we found was that in the unannounced restaurant inspections, the average number of critical violations cited per inspection was 0.42. This is just less than half of a critical violation per inspection. In an announced food preparation TFF inspection, which they knew we were coming out to inspect, the average critical violation that were cited per inspection was 0.65. This is just over half of a critical violation per inspection. In the past event, in June, the IE Food Truck Fest, which again, they knew we were coming out to inspect, the average number of critical violations cited per inspection was 0.98. This was just under 1 critical violation per inspection. Percentage-wise, that's a 133% increase on critical violations that were found at the Food Truck Fest compared to the unannounced restaurant inspections, and a 55% increase over critical violations that are found at the announced food preparation booths at a TFF. Another interesting statistic is that during our announced and unannounced inspections in a restaurant during that same 2-month, we did a 2-month period of time most recently, we closed 0.01% restaurants, which I'd like to say just means we do an absolutely fabulous job at inspecting our restaurants, but they do a really good job of complying with the law. In the IE Food Truck Festival, we had a 10% closure rate. What I have here today is 3 options for the Board of Supervisors to consider. Option 1 is hot food trucks would continue to be permitted to operate as we do today at temporary food facilities, a part of a DEHS permitted, regulated, and approved community event. There'd be no impacts beyond those that are currently experienced, and this option would maintain the status quo we have today. Option 2 would be to amend the existing ordinance to establish a new category entitled hot food truck events. By amending the existing county health and safety ordinance to establish the category of hot food truck events and a system for allowing hot food trucks to congregate, subject to local town or city approval, food trucks would continue to be able to operate as temporary food events as well. It's anticipated that the county and its city